So if you haven't already, go ahead and make yourselves comfortable and get in a seated position. Like I mentioned, you're welcome to sit in a chair. You can sit on the floor, whatever allows the body to be comfortable, letting go of distractions by the physical body that gets uncomfortable, sometimes very quickly in a seated position, and then really be honest with yourself as to whether or not the first, say, 20 minutes or so here, you can make yourself comfortable. So if at the very least we could, just for the first few minutes here, we're going to do some tapping, that would be great. But again, you can be on your back and do this. So once you've kind of found your position, go ahead and softly close the eyes. Come into your breath. And take just a moment here to observe your body breathing. You might feel the rise and fall of the chest. Maybe the belly is softly moving with each breath in and out. You might feel the air moving in through the nostrils if you're breathing through the nose. The shoulders might softly rise and fall. And checking in here, just notice any sensations that you might experience just beneath the skin. So bring your awareness to your whole body, your skin, and just noticing if you sense any vibration or movement or sensation just beneath the skin. And we're going to see if we can't kind of play or manipulate that a little bit or change whatever you may be experiencing or not experiencing there. And we're going to very lightly begin at the crown of our head with all 10 tips of our fingers and just begin to tap. You can tap from front to back, just very lightly. We're not trying to do anything too forcefully here, but just a gentle sensation of tapping on the crown of the head. And then begin to move down the sides of the head and maybe front to back. And you might move over the ears, start to move to the back of the head and up and down to the back of the head. And as we tap, okay, we spend a couple of minutes here tapping, notice your breath and continue to breathe deeply and fully. In and out, full deep breaths as we work through the body tapping. So start to move up and over the ears a few times, just the top of the ears along the head, and then maybe even the earlobes themselves. Breathing deeply, take this gentle tapping to the back of the neck and maybe even along the sides of the neck, the front of the neck, and moving down through the shoulders or upper neck area, coming along the collarbones. From shoulders in, move into the collarbones to the center of the chest. Just tapping there for a moment. And deep breath here. Start to move down through the center of the chest, all the way underneath the breast and just moving around underneath there to the side body. Maybe hold up the side body, tapping a little bit up and down here. Come back down underneath the breast, up through center of the chest. Back to the shoulders. And then we're going to just do a gentle patting, taking the right hand or the right palm gently starting from the shoulder and tap down the full length of the arm to the wrist, to the top of the hand, and fingers roll up to the palm of the hand, with the forearm, crease of the elbow, bicep back up to the shoulder, and then switch sides, left hand shoulder tapping down the front of the right arm, top of the hand, fingers, palm, wrist, just continue tapping up through the forearm, elbow, shoulder. And then go ahead and start the tapping all the way down through the center, gently tapping through the belly. Deep breaths, continuing the deep breaths, move down the legs, just kind of tapping through the thighs and the knees and the calves. Maybe all the way to the feet, back up through the shins and knees and thighs, or back of the thighs. So just gently making contact now through the back body, reaching where you can. And then eventually finding your way back up through the front body, all the way back up, tapping through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in at the crown. And on your exhale, allow the arms to float out wide and find their way back to the lap, onto your lap. Palms up. And now again, just noticing the sensations beneath the skin, any vibrations, whatever it is you're sensing or feeling. Just a very nice, gentle clearing of energy, bringing ourselves together in this space. Again, find your way back into your breath. And begin to find an even flow to your breath. You can count silently to yourself. To begin with, just a count of 4 and an exhale 4. Now, if that feels way too abbreviated, too short of a breath, you're welcome to take this to 5 or even 6. And we're creating as smooth of a transition as we can as the in-breath moves into the out, and the out-breath smoothly transitions into the in-breath. And bring to your mind's eye the infinity symbol, that continuous flow of a figure 8. Your figure 8 or infinity symbol may be straight up and down, or it may be sideways, lying on its side. Either way is fine. Just feel the in-breath move from one end of the symbol up and across to the top. And then the exhale flows back down around the other side, crosses over into where you started the inhale. And just follow this symbol in your mind with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Without any pause. The breath is comfortable and fluid. Maintaining this even flow of breath and continuous flow. You can keep the infinity symbol in your mind if that's helpful. We're going to now incorporate with the Ujjayi Pranayama, so a gentle restriction in the back of the throat. This allows us to hear and feel this breath moving through us. And it also enables us or gives us the opportunity to lengthen and slow down the breath even more as it moves more slowly through the throat. As you begin to drop into this practice with the Ujjayi Pranayama, bring your attention to the sensations in the back of the throat. So feeling. What do you feel as this breath moves in and out through the throat, evenly and smoothly? Allowing the mind to rest in the sensations of this Ujjayi Pranayama. Let's move our attention away from the sensations and now bring your awareness into what you hear. You might hear the breath moving within your space. You might also be drawn to something else in the background. Ujjayi Pranayama, smooth, even breathing. Paying attention to just the sounds within or around you. Now bring your attention back into the evenness of your breath and see if you can increase your count by 1. So if you were at a 5 count, deepen the breath to a 6 count, or 6 to a 7, whatever you were, just go 1 count. Notice if this is where you should stay. If there's any discomfort, back off on the breath by 1 count again. Or if it's available to you today, we'll increase one more time, just one more count. So if you're at a 7, move to an 8 count. Wherever you are, you're either going to choose to stay, go down 1, or up 1 count, as long as the breath is comfortable and flowing easily. There should be no stress or strain. We're not forcing anything here. If it would feel comfortable to do so, we're going to begin to add a 2 count hold at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. So wherever you are in your count, you're going to keep that even and add a 2 count hold after the inhale and after the exhale. Again, if that becomes uncomfortable, go back to a nice, smooth, fluid breath. You can maintain that visualization of the figure 8, holding the breath at either end. Release the holding of the breath at the completion of the next exhale. And reduce your count by 1. Finding your way back into a nice, smooth, even flow without any pauses. And reduce your count by 1. At the completion of the next exhale, release any shaping of the breath. Bring your awareness back into the energy body, just feeling the energy just beneath the skin from head to toe. From here, we'll go ahead and very mindfully find our way onto our backs for a guided visualization. Notice if you're going to find your way to the floor, if you're not there already, what props might you use to be comfortable? A pillow underneath the head, something rolled underneath the knees. You're also welcome to lie on another surface that may be more comfortable to you, a sofa, a bed, as long as you won't fall asleep. So just take a moment to make yourself comfortable on your backs. As you make yourself comfortable, we want to bring ourselves into the present moment. So check the mind and body for things you may have carried with you into this practice. Maybe something that occurred this morning or yesterday or during the week. Just noticing the thoughts from the events of your life so far. Whatever those thoughts and feelings are, just simply acknowledge them, allow them to be, without any analysis or judgment. Now let's bring your awareness to your breathing, just breathing naturally and normally. We're not controlling it. You're just going to be mindful of each breath rising and falling as you inhale and exhale. Simply focus on the sensations of breathing in, and as you breathe out, focusing on the sensations of breathing out. Simply concentrate on the breath, moving in and out of the body without shaping it or guiding it. And gently shift your focus from the breath and bring it back into the sensations within your body. Just observe and acknowledge the myriad of sensations flowing through your body as they change with each moment. If you find any areas of tightness or tension with your body, try to allow them to soften and relax. If you're not able to soften and relax those areas, just acknowledge the sensations and allow them to flow wherever they need to go and do whatever they need to do. And draw your attention to hearing. Observe all sounds with ambivalence. Just noticing all the sounds within or around you without any attachment or stories behind them. And then notice if you feel those sound waves somewhere in the body. Acknowledging the multitude of varying sounds, internal and external, moment to moment. Notice how sounds can change with each moment, whether it's internal or external. They may rise and fall. Just hear them appear and disappear without the need to fix anything. And gently guide your attention away from sounds and shift your focus to emotions and thoughts. Just observing the mind without judgment. Simply acknowledging the many mental formations within each moment. Like lying in a field and watching the clouds move and change shape as they float by. Watch the mind in the same manner. We're not grasping or holding on to any particular thought, just allowing them to float by. Notice how thoughts rise and form in the mind and then recede when another thought takes over. The mind is constantly thinking about this and that, functioning with a mind of its own, analyzing, planning, remembering, comparing. Just simply experience how these thoughts appear and disappear as just thoughts. Observe and let them be, knowing they'll appear, disappear, and recede in time. If you do get caught up in thoughts and feelings, it's okay. Simply a way of returning to the present moment. Once you realize you're lost in thought, in that very moment, you are no longer lost. Simply refocus on mind observation with the clouds of thoughts and emotions floating on and on. If there's moments that you feel frustrated with your wandering mind, you can always gently guide your way back to the breath, using the breath as your anchor until you can allow the mind to float by like clouds again. When you're centered, just allowing your awareness to be in the present moment, with the breath or a thought floating by. In this awareness, we invite ourselves to become mindful of whatever arises with each moment in the mind and body, whether a stream of emotions or thoughts, sensations, sounds, or any other sensory experiences. Just absorb the internal experience as your body and mind combine and interact with constantly changing stimuli. Simply observe what is prevalent in the mind and body and be present to it. If nothing predominates and you're unfocused, go back to the breath to anchor yourself in the present moment. Sometimes there's thoughts and emotions or sensations and sounds, but if nothing is occurring, you are always breathing, and that can be your anchor in the sea of change in your body and mind. As you learn to give space to whatever is arising inside without judgment, you can begin to go with the flow. Instead of fighting it, you'll begin to acknowledge and understand that all things change. Even feelings of anger, sadness, pain, anxiety, and confusion will diminish if you simply give these feelings space. Bring your attention back into the rise and fall of your breath. Feeling that your whole body taking that breath in, almost a sense of floating or lightness, and a surrendering on the exhale. Resting our attention in the rise and fall of the breath. Begin with some gentle movement through the fingers and toes. Begin to softly open the eyes. Just become aware of the space your body occupies. It's around you. Ever so slowly begin to roll to one side, coming back into our day. Rolling to one side and find your way to seated. Bring our palms together to our hearts as you acknowledge this time of self-care you gave yourself. It's a real gift. Showing up for you. May you carry this practice into your day today. Thank you for allowing me to take the seat of teacher. Namaste.